Hey guys, welcome back to another week of e-commerce marketing chats with myself, Charles, and the main man, Jimmy. Jimmy, how's it going, mate?
Good man. I just speaking before this call, you've just let me know that Google's had another major. What would you even call them? It's not like a workshop. It's
Keynotes.
almost
Keynote
a
speak.
seminar. Yeah, keynotes, and kind of announcing what's coming and what's on the horizon. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, so I'm curious to find out what your thoughts are on it and what you took from it as well. And yeah, we'll see where that leads us and chat all things ecom like usual.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, no, some pretty big updates. It was nearly a two hour keynote from Google, going over a number of different changes, mainly related to AI, and then there was a decent sized segment in there related to search and how AI integrates with search and Google search. So, few kind of cliff notes here. I've kind of got my notes next to me here. So, kind of to summarize some of the important takeaways, AI search now integrated into Google's main search experience. So, the blue links, the traditional blue links still remain, but AI overviews and AI mode are kind of alongside each other now. So, you may have seen when you type in a certain search query, you'll get the AI overview, but now you can also continue that conversation with the AI mode. So there's no separation now between AI overviews and AI mode. And that's something that I noticed probably a couple of weeks ago is you could basically just continue that or start that conversation. Once you've got an answer with AI overviews, then you can just ask it more in-depth questions with the AI mode integrated. And what was interesting is actually that's increased search activity. So basically, in terms of the stats here, AI overviews 2.5 billion monthly users, active monthly users. AI mode 1 billion monthly users, which has doubled every quarter since it launched. Search queries all time high from last quarter, and people are shopping on Google over 1 billion times a day. So in terms of actual
A day.
search,
So yeah.
yeah. In terms of actual search activity on Google search specifically, numbers have never been higher. However, having said that, there's a lot of changes. I don't know what you're seeing on your end, Jimmy, but like what I have noticed over time is like impressions are higher over say the last year organically, but clicks are kind of starting to trend down. There is I would be lying to suggest that although say like I've noticed on some accounts that like rankings have improved. Like there's been improvements in technically in rankings and impressions, which you would think would equate to more clicks. But because AI overviews is taking a large chunk often of that potential traffic, because the answer is shown within the interface and people aren't clicking through, we're seeing a drop in clicks across the board. So, it's how we kind of navigate through that and showing that moving forward, the experience is not just about capturing clicks, but it's also capturing visibility. So it's getting
Yeah.
visibility.
I think that part of it will definitely hit organic more than paid. I mean, Google needs to click on paid to charge people per click. So I s- but I'm finding like the majority of clicks that we would work on are e-commerce type queries. So you're not really getting AI overviews when you're looking to purchase something. You're more getting the AI overviews when you're asking kind of those informational type queries. So probably top of the funnel type searches for
Yes,
e-commerce
yes, for
where
sure.
they're not
Yeah.
necessarily showing the shopping ads. So I like the paid side. I haven't noticed like the drop off in clicks, but when I do check the Google Search Console, I do notice some of the blog articles that we're doing quite well. They're still doing well, but they're not at the same volume that they were. Whether that's a natural process, like they taper off slowly or drop in rankings slightly, I'm not sure. But yeah, I definitely I'm not as in tuned on that side as probably what you would be on the organic side of things.
Yeah, no, from my experience, that is definitely the case in terms of, you do need to update your blogs over time in order to keep them competitive. And naturally, you know, competing articles come out and you could potentially be, push down the search results. So yeah, that's just that is naturally the case. And obviously now with AI overviews as well, you're probably going to get shown there rather than always your blog post showing up as a blue link, or it
I
might show up
saw
as a blue
I
link,
saw
but it's
today
further
too that
down.
the ads are showing in the AI overviews now too. So
Interesting.
that'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how that goes as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of changes. It's the other major change was they're kind of building this kind of three block agentic commerce experience. So they've broken it down into three areas. You've got Universal Commerce Protocol, Agents Payments Protocol, and Universal Cart.
Hmm.
And, in summary, all of these experiences is to kind of keep the customer experience within Google search. So you're going to be
Yeah.
able to pay and check out with Google Wallet. And also you're going to be able to use agents as well. So you'll be able to effectively look at things like when you make a search for a product, the agent can go off and see if there's been any price drops. You're going to be able to do like price comparisons. You'll be able to see the price history of the product, if it's out, coming back in stock or out of stock. All of these kind of additional features to kind of improve the experience and more integrate more AI into the process. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
going to
I,
be
I
another
think if
case.
people are looking to get on top of that too, the agent stuff is available in beta inside the Merchant Center, so it's definitely worth having a play around with. They've also a couple of things announced from the Google Ads side. They are going to do AI Max search for shopping, which will be interesting to see how that goes. It's going to be basically just the shopping equivalent of Performance Max, which I'm keen to test out to see how it goes. I think it'll go quite broad, but it'll be interesting to see whether it brings in new traffic or not. The other big thing in this AI space that a lot of the students that I coach have brought up recently is the Agentic sales channel in Shopify that has just popped up. So
Yes.
a lot of
Yeah.
people are talking about that at the moment. At the moment, well, from what I've seen anyway, it's only available if you ship into the US. So if you can't activate everything on there yet, I think it's only available if you have shipping options into the US. But it's basically trying to upload your catalog to ChatGPT, and they've got one other one on there. I forget what it is. It might have been Copilot. I can't
I think
remember.
it is
Do you
Copilot.
do you
Yeah.
remember the
Yeah.
second one, Charles?
Yeah. I think it is
Yeah, so they've
Copilot.
got two in there that you can have this agentic kind of communications with. So that's coming. Like this is all coming. So if you want to stay on top of it, start integrating these things, the business agent in Merchant Center, and start experimenting if you can with the agentic solution in Shopify itself now too.
Yeah, yeah. No, there's certainly a lot, and it's changing. It feels like every week there's huge updates. We always say it, don't we, here on the podcast? It's just like keeping up with everything
Yeah,
is
no.
is certainly interesting, and
I mean,
yeah,
we're on the marketing side and it's hard to keep up. So you can imagine how business owners are feeling with all this change. They think they're integrating the latest, and then the next week, 10 things have surpassed what they've just set up. So yeah,
yeah,
it's a pretty wild time at the moment. But I think more than anything, just I'm seeing like a real need for like business owners that can afford it to have someone hired specifically for implementing AI within their business, whether that's improving their systems, being on top of, or coming up with solutions for what they're running right now. Like one of the things that I've been thinking about for one of the furniture companies that I work with, it would be great if they had their own app where someone could take a photo of their room and then the app would populate their products in the room, and then they could just click on the product that the app populated in that place and go ahead and purchase it. Like
yeah. That's a
these
cool
type of
experience.
solutions. I think that's got to be coming for the buyer side. You already see people are already taking photos of their room and putting them in ChatGPT and saying, "Hey, design it in this type of style." So I can't imagine it would be a leap for a business to create that and just have the AI put in their own products that they have on their website. I think You would have to have a lot of quality data in there, though, around, I guess, product measurements, sizes, just so that the scaling of when you put it in the room looked correct. Because you don't want someone taking a photo of their room and then the AI populating all the furniture and stuff in the room and it looks great, and then they purchase it and nothing fits how it was in the AI image. So I think the quality of your feed is going to be super important for this next stage of AI. Like filling out as much data as you can about your products and yeah, making sure everything's kind of up to date. AI is making that a lot easier too. I'm finding to manage and edit in bulk as well.
Yeah. No, I think there was, yeah, one of the key things from this keynote was about the importance of kind of auditing and cleaning up your product feed. There was talk about maximizing the shopping graph coverage, which, yeah, there's a lot and structured data as well. I think getting the fundamentals and the technical side of things sorted is going to be important. Things which probably were often overlooked are the things that are going to help these kind of AI agents be able to kind of read and interpret the data.
How have you gone in your mission, Charles, to update descriptions, product titles, like natively through the AI? A lot of the students that I worked with now, they're actually connecting to Claude directly through. Claude have released Shopify have released a connector in the Claude connector library that will help you connect your store like directly to
Yeah,
Claude now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
So I've
curious to
just
know
set
what
that
you're
up.
using, if any integration at the moment.
Yeah, so I've just set that up with a client whereby, yeah, I've connected to the Shopify MCP. They have these kind of MCP connectors. So I'm going through that process. I'm just waiting on them to literally click a link to activate it. And I've effectively built an app, an SEO app, which is going to allow me to upload, metadata at scale and effectively make any changes
Yeah,
to
great.
various on-page elements, whether it's the meta title description, the H1. So I think they've made that easier since because we were talking previously, weren't we, Jimmy, about setting up an app, an integration, but I don't think that was via the Shopify, one of the Claude connectors, these
Yeah, it
MCP.
wasn't via that. No, it was creating your own custom app and then using the secret key in Claude Code just to connect directly
Yeah.
that way.
So I think this process is actually easier and it's going to be able to allow you to make changes. I think that's the way things are going. It's clear that you've got these kind of large language models, whether it's Claude, ChatGPT, and then you've got SaaS basically connecting. So these kind of MCP servers that you can set up where you can connect. Like I've got like SEM Rush. I need to set up. There's an auditing tool that I use, Screaming Frog, that allows you to audit
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
websites. It's like a desktop application, and I've now integrated that to Claude as well. So you can
Oh,
connect
okay.
all of these different tools, and then rather than actually having to log on to each of these tools, you now can use them directly all together within that kind of Claude interface or ChatGPT. So I think that's the way things are moving. I really do. I think it's like a lot of these SaaS tools realize that if they don't integrate into these big AI models, they're going to be in trouble and they're going to lose more and more users. So it's like we need to effectively, join it. Otherwise, yeah, a lot of them will go out of business.
Yeah, I think so. I think because I honestly think people will be able to build their own use case SaaSes. Like I know we've discussed this previously, but every time you're waiting for an update on an app or for a feature to be added, you're not going to be waiting for a feature anymore. You're going to be building it yourself and getting rid of whatever you were using. Like it's just how it's going to be. Some apps, I know people have waited years for features that never were added, and now they've just gone and built it themselves and got rid of the old app that they were using completely. So I don't feel sorry for the SaaS industry. I think the really good ones will survive. I think the ones that neglected their users, they're done. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, you and I have probably already dropped some ourselves that we were using that are no longer needed. So, yeah, It's changing fast, but yeah, it's interesting. But I think I don't think business owners quite realize like I had a student chatting to me about they were trying to find some technical error on their Shopify store, and with Claude connected, they can just start asking Claude, and then Claude goes through the code, and they're like, yeah, I found this, and this is what's causing it, and it's like you can solve your own problems now. I will say to anyone listening, if you are connecting Claude Code and you're doing any code changes or website changes, make sure you're doing it on like a draft theme, because if you're doing it on your live theme, you can things can go wrong. And I'm saying that because one of the students, something did go wrong, and their website was just a white screen for like 8 hours. So yeah, you can mess things up if you don't know what you're doing. So just tread carefully. It's a great tool, but just be aware that it's not it's not bulletproof. There are things that can go wrong, and it can change things that it probably shouldn't change. So just make sure that you're doing anything that you're testing on a draft theme before you put it live.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. That's really good advice because yeah, you're right. It doesn't, you know, one slight change and yeah, your website being down for 8 hours is definitely not what you want, especially when you're running an e-commerce brand and you're making money on the daily. So yeah, that's definitely sound advice.
One of the things that I'm looking to build out for my clients actually. So when you go to a website's homepage for e-commerce specifically, they usually have somewhere on the front page like the best sellers. What I am just trying to build out at the moment is like a little widget, but instead of showing the best sellers, it will have a fallback to the best sellers. But if this person that has visited the website at any stage before, instead of showing best sellers, it will show the products that they've actually viewed on the website previously. So if they're landing on the homepage, either products that they purchased previously or visited previously are the first ones showing. So I think that will, especially for products with like large SKU sets, like if you're just putting in front of the customer the products that they're usually buying or that they've purchased previously, I think the conversion rate will be a lot better. So I'm working on that little snippet for a few of my clients to basically update the just your standard bestsellers category into using a dynamic field based on, hey, if they visited the site before and we've got data on them, what products they visited, then serve them those products. And if the data isn't there, then just default back to the bestsellers catalog like it was before.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a couple of my clients, they have like the collection page, so they have the product grid, and then they have, you know, a static row of bestsellers, but it's not kind of dynamic based on their own data. And so I like that approach. I think that would work really well. Something that I thought about doing, and it's more from improving the rankings of a page, is to have the, like if you have a, say you have a collection and you're selling, I don't know, microphones, you'd have the best-selling microphones. You wouldn't have bestsellers of random other products that they're selling on the site, because if it's all about microphones, then you're more likely to rank for microphones. Basically, there's a higher search intent, and Google can kind of establish that. So that's something that I'm looking to experiment with, because they've just got bestsellers and it's the same bestsellers on any collection page at the moment, and I want to
Okay.
change it for my clients so that it's the bestsellers according to that collection, to
Yeah.
see what impact that has on rankings and visibility.
Yeah, that would just be setting up another collection, choosing the product type as microphones in your example, and then sorting it by bestsellers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I guess the challenge I'm trying to figure out now is, and this is more on the development side, is how they can integrate that when they've got thousands of collections because they have to go, you know, there must be a way that this can be done a little bit more dynamically and automate that
Oh
process.
yeah. What you could, yeah, I'm sure like if you ask Claude something like, hey, I want you to review all my product types and make a collection for every single product type that we have on Shopify. and then I want you to basically make the conditions for the products is equals this product type that you've chosen to do the heading on, and then just tell it to make sure it's sorted by bestsellers. That's something that AI should be able to do in bulk.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah, just kind of experimenting on the kind of UX side of things. Like even for example, with a lot of their collections at the moment, they have at the bottom linking out to their blog and YouTube channel, which effectively you're taking the customer away further from the sale. You want to get customers closer to that sale, i.e. clicking through on one of those products on the page. So we've removed that and really just focused on the product grid. And in my experience, sometimes the
I wonder if
least,
there's a way to I wonder if there's a way to kind of open the YouTube channel in the actual website. If that makes sense. So they could browse YouTube, but it be in the actual Shopify store, and then depending on what you were watching, like dynamically put down the bottom like products that are in the videos. That would be cool.
yeah, yeah. Not sure if there is a way. Usually, obviously you can embed the video, but then there's always a button that clicks you off to YouTube, isn't there, within the
Yeah, I wonder if
video
you can like
frame?
embed the whole channel experience. That would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like there's so many. We always talk about this. There's so many different things you can focus on and tweak and test. It's never ending, isn't it? When you're running an e-commerce brand, I think it's just trying to
Yeah, I
figure
think
out
like
what are the
all the
things that move
major
the needle.
platforms are trying to do everything they can to keep you on their platform. It'd be nice to reverse engineer some of that and go the other way and say, hey, can I use these platforms on my website and keep them on my website while they're using them?
Yeah, but yeah, I do think yeah, that's true. Although I do think the focus does need to be on, you know, before it was, there was a big focus on the higher a website converts, the more chance it is that you're going to drive more revenue. But now it's actually like the more visible you are on these new emerging search platforms, it may be in the future that your website is not the differentiating factor. It's that you're
Yeah, especially with Agentic coming, they might not
yeah,
even ever reach your website. So
exactly. So yeah, I think it's certainly important to look at these things, and you know, me and Jimmy, we're figuring this out in real time as well. Like a lot of other marketers in the space, it's like obviously Jimmy more on the paid side, me on the organic. I'm constantly trying to test things and learn from others as well that are, that's the great thing about the SEO and the community in general is that they're very they put out a lot of information about their clients, and I can also look at that and apply some of those principles for my own clients as well. So yeah, but things are changing in real time, and also there is a lot of it's also deciphering what is actually good accurate information and what is basically a bunch of rubbish,
yeah,
because there is a lot of people spouting.
Aussie.
Yeah.
I was excited today. I did kind of my first coaching call where I kind of coached someone on the blog strategy that I used that we spoke about last week around kind of leveraging either existing brands or influencers in the space, you leveraging their authority and kind of blogging about them to drive traffic to your site. And the student that I kind of just ran through my process for this today, like he's a really high level implementer. Like he gets things done fast. So keen to see like how he implements what he learned from that particular call, and to see if he can get kind of similar results that I've got from using that blog strategy. So yeah, like I never really coach anything outside of Google Ads. Obviously I do a lot more than Google Ads, but Google Ads is typically what I'm coaching other people on to get the best results from. But yeah, it was something a bit different today. I coaching along the organic blog strategy that I've been using. So yeah, something a bit different. Obviously, I'm not a technical SEO. I mean, I probably could be if I wanted to, if I dived into it enough, but it's not the world I want to jump into. I'll leave that to Charles. But yeah, like I'll see how he goes, because if he implements this blog strategy and it gets a lot of traction for him, I might put together a masterclass on it.
Yeah, that's
And with your help, Charles, from the SEO side, we might be able to just make it like a pretty baller masterclass, especially for business. It's just here's a current account, and the one that I was coaching today, he was the prime example of someone that had written like 7 blogs and none of them have a single click in the last 3 months. I think if people understand kind of the strategy behind knowing what to blog about, what to look for, how to how to blog effectively so you can get the traffic. If they understand that, they're just going to waste so much less time than spending all these time writing these blogs and then just never getting any traffic from it ever.
yeah, no, absolutely.
And
I
I was
mean,
talking today about a flywheel too. Like if you write a good blog, then you can use a short snippet of that in your email marketing and say read the whole blog here. You can also put it on social media and make it a clickbaity type title to get people to your site as well. If it's really good and kind of those advertorial type blogs, then you can use it for paid traffic as well. So there's like it's like a whole flywheel you can do if you've got really good blog content that I think a lot of e-commerce businesses are really missing out on.
yeah, no, I totally agree, Jimmy. I don't think I've ever taken on a new client and not looked at their blog and thought this needs a lot of work. Like, yeah, I literally just took on a new client this week, and the last time they wrote a blog was December 2024, and I looked at the data on these blogs, and they were driving very little traffic, if not yeah, none basically. So yeah, I think a lot of brands think that it's just okay, write a blog, upload it to the website. In reality, there's a lot more to it than that, from kind of the keyword strategy to the UX to the way that you kind of format the blog to are you writing about something that people are actually searching for? Because if you're not, the likelihood is it's not going to show in Google search and therefore no one's going to click on it. So these are all things to consider when you're building out a blog strategy. Otherwise, as you said, Jimmy, you're wasting your time. You, you're better off focusing
I
on.
know, and writing a good blog and formatting it, like it's not a like quick process. Like a couple of hours of work that goes into that. So if you're doing a couple of them and you've done them, you've let them sit there for a couple of months to see if they're driving traffic or not. I think you can usually tell whether a blog's going to generate traffic or not. Like usually I'm getting a click for a blog that I've just written. If it's going to do well, it's getting clicks like in the first week that it's been indexed. For the ones that I've written anyway, I don't know if you find the same,
No, I
Charles, or not, or whether it takes a bit longer.
no no. In my experience, it's similar. Certainly, you should be seeing a decent spike in impressions, and then clicks should follow. If you're not, yeah, if a blog is live for a couple of weeks and it's barely getting any impressions, let alone clicks, then something needs to change. So yeah, I yeah, that's my experience as well, Jimmy. Is typically you know quite quickly whether a blog is going to perform well or not.
Yeah, I agree. But I think some people are being conditioned, especially with anything that they do in SEO. Oh, I'm going to do this now, and I might start seeing some results 3 to 6 months down the track. It's not like that. So if you're not getting at least some traction in the first kind of week, then you've either written about the wrong thing, or yeah, it's probably not going to be a successful blog for you. So, but yeah, keen to find out more about people that were testing the strategy that we mentioned last week too. But we've already hit half an hour, Charles. That went so quick. I said before the call, I don't have too many things on the top of my mind that I want to discuss, but like always, one thing just rolls into the next, and yeah, we're on another e-commerce tangent chat. So it's always good to catch up again. And is there anything else that you wanted to cover on this particular episode, Charles?
No, I think we covered a few things, and yeah, all good, Jimmy.
Sweet. Well, for those who want to check us out, you can check us out on the podcasting platforms on e-commerce marketing chats, or check us out on Facebook at Shopify Marketing Secrets. Until next week, we'll catch you guys then. See you guys.